You woke up this morning and the light hit your face just right. The coffee tasted perfect. Your reflection in the bathroom mirror caught your eye, and for a moment, just a fleeting second, you felt it. That quiet certainty, that sense that you are at the center of something, that your life is the opening scene of a story that matters. This is what psychologists call protagonist syndrome. It's the innate human tendency to experience existence as a narrative with ourselves as the hero. Your internal monologue narrates your day as if someone, somewhere, is watching. As if your choices carry weight beyond the immediate moment. As if you are in some fundamental way special. But here's the problem. There are 8 billion people on this planet right now. 117 billion humans have ever lived. And in this exact moment right now, as you're hearing these words, 2,000 people are experiencing the best moment of their entire lives. 2,000 others are living through their worst. Someone just fell in love. Someone just died. A child took her first steps. An old man took his last breath. None of them are you. And yet somehow, against all statistical evidence, against all rational thought, you still feel like you're the main character. So here's the question that should terrify you. What happens to a human being when they truly internalize that they're not special? Not in some inspirational, everyone is unique like a snowflake way, but in the cold, mathematical sense. What breaks inside us when we realize the universe didn't write a story for us at all? Well, to understand why this realization feels like dying, we have to go back. To the moment humanity first looked up at the stars and began to suspect we weren't at the center of anything. Before the 16th century, the universe was a story about us. Earth sat at the center of everything. Heaven gleamed above, hell churned below. Every star in the night sky was a divine light, placed there specifically for human witness. The cosmos was literally designed as our theater, our stage, our home. Human beings weren't just important. We were the entire point of existence. Medieval cosmology was cosmic narcissism made into architecture. Then came 1543. Nicolaus Copernicus published a book that didn't just move the Earth. It demoted humanity from protagonist to background extra. The heliocentric model revealed that we orbit the sun, not the other way around. We were not the center. We were not special. We were just another rock spinning in the dark. Sigmund Freud would later call this the first of 3 great wounds to human narcissism. The cosmological wound. The revelation that we are not at the center of the universe. 3 centuries later, Charles Darwin opened the second wound. The theory of evolution revealed that we weren't specially created by divine hands. We weren't set apart from the animals. We are animals, improvised, accidental, related by blood to everything that crawls, swims, and flies. We didn't fall from grace, we crawled out of the mud, the biological wound. We are not separate from nature, we are nature red in tooth and claw. And then Freud himself opened the third wound, the unconscious mind. The revelation that we aren't even masters of our own thoughts. That most of what drives us, our fears, desires, and compulsions, happens beneath the surface, beyond our control, the psychological wound. We are not sovereign over ourselves. 3 centuries of discovering we are smaller, less central, and less in control than we ever believed. Modern astronomy has revealed an observable universe containing 2 trillion galaxies. Carl Sagan showed us the pale blue Earth as a single pixel in a photograph taken from the edge of the solar system. A mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. If you compressed Earth's entire history into a 24-hour clock, humans wouldn't appear until 11:59 and 59 seconds. 1 second before midnight. We went from being the purpose of creation to being a chemical accident on a rock, orbiting an average star in an unremarkable galaxy, in a universe that will forget we existed. But here's what's strange. We know all of this intellectually. We've known it for generations. We teach it in schools. We accept it as fact. and yet we still wake up every morning feeling like the main character. Why can't we feel what we know? Because feeling special isn't vanity, survival equipment. Ernest Becker argued in The Denial of Death that humans are the only animals cursed with the knowledge of our own mortality. We know we're going to die. That knowledge should, by all logic, paralyze us with terror. So the psyche develops a defense mechanism, the belief that we matter, that our lives have meaning, that we are in some way immune to the anonymity of death. This is what psychologists call terror management theory. Self-esteem and cultural worldviews function as anxiety buffers. They protect us from existential panic. Feeling special isn't a personality flaw. It's the psychological architecture that allows us to get out of bed in the morning. The ego, as Becker called it, is a vital lie. Heinz Kohut distinguished between pathological narcissism and healthy narcissism. Everyone carries a version of what he called the grandiose self-an internal image of ourselves as significant, destined, set apart. This isn't a disorder. It's the baseline human operating system. We all harbor a secret belief that we're meant for something important, that our story will matter. And there's a reason for this. You're trapped inside the one perspective that will always feel like the most important one, your own. Consciousness itself creates the illusion of centrality. You literally cannot experience the world except from behind your own eyes. Every thought you have is narrated in your voice. Every emotion you feel is yours. So the spotlight of awareness is always, by definition, on you. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect. People dramatically overestimate how much others notice them. But it's more than a cognitive bias. It's the structure of experience itself. You are always the eye at the center of my life. There is no other way to be conscious. Which means the narcissistic wound isn't just an insult. It's a shattering. What triggers the crisis? Failure, rejection, comparison, age, loss, any moment when reality refuses to cooperate with the story. You've been telling yourself? When the gap between who you thought you were and who you actually are becomes too wide to ignore, the protective glass breaks, and the symptoms are physical. Depression, dissociation, existential panic. Psychologist Irvin Yalom described the confrontation with meaninglessness as one of the ultimate existential givens, something every human must eventually face. The narcissistic injury isn't just emotional, it's ontological. It shakes the foundation of your sense of self. Because the existential crisis isn't realizing you're not special. It's realizing you needed to feel special to survive. And now you can't. This is the fundamental human contradiction. We are creatures who evolved to feel central in a universe that offers no center. The mind that can comprehend its own insignificance is also the mind that cannot accept it. We are built wrong for the truth. For most of history, these wounds healed slowly, generationally. People had time to integrate the blow, but something has changed. Something has accelerated the crisis, made it impossible to ignore, and broadcast our mediocrity back to us in high definition every single day. Social media promised to make everyone a star, to give everyone a platform, to democratize fame itself. You could be the protagonist of your own public narrative. All you needed was a phone, and in a way, it kept that promise. Everyone can perform now. Everyone can have an audience. Everyone can broadcast their life as if it were the most important story being told. But here's the paradox. If everyone's a main character, no one is. Pre-social media, you compared yourself to maybe 150 people. Your immediate community, the people in your direct line of sight. Dunbar's number. It's post-social media. You compare yourself to millions, to curated highlight reels, to edited, filtered, algorithmically amplified versions of other people's best moments. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, a constant feed of people who seem to be living better lives, more interesting lives, more beautiful, more successful, more extraordinary lives. And the algorithm doesn't show you random people. It shows you the ones who will make you feel the most inadequate, because that's what keeps you scrolling. You used to compete with your neighbor. Now you compete with everyone's best moments, served to you by a machine that knows exactly which images will make you feel small. And here's the truly brutal part. Social media gave us a number. Follower counts, likes, views, quantified popularity. You don't just suspect you're less interesting than others, you know exactly how much less. You can see the metrics. And for most of us, the number is small. Virality has become the new marker of specialness. Going viral means you matter. It means you broke through. It means for a moment, you were the main character. But virality is statistically impossible for almost everyone. The math doesn't work. Most content dies in obscurity. Most people shout into the void and hear nothing back. More people are visible than ever before. Most of them are being ignored. This is the new horror. Not the horror of being unseen, but the horror of being seen and still being ordinary, of performing significance and receiving silence. Content creators have become the new special class, and millions are trying and failing to join them. The psychological toll of this is staggering, so we cope. We narrate our lives cinematically. We film ourselves as if someone's watching. We create main character montages on TikTok, ironic, self-aware performances of significance. But the irony doesn't protect us. Self-awareness doesn't heal the wound. We perform because we can no longer tolerate experiencing our lives as ordinary. The main character trend isn't confidence. It's a defense mechanism against the terror of being an extra. Underneath it all is hustle culture, personal branding, the religion of self-optimization. Become your best self. Maximize your potential. Build your empire. Implicit message. You are not special yet, but you could be if you work hard enough. Worthiness is always deferred, always just out of reach. We've turned self-improvement into a religion, and the God we're praying to is relevance. So here we are. Cosmically insignificant, psychologically unprepared for that insignificance, and living inside machines that remind us of it constantly. The question isn't how to escape this crisis. You can't. The question is, what do we do now? Let's be clear about what doesn't work. Toxic positivity won't save you. People who insist you are special, that you're one in a million, that you have a unique purpose, they mean well. But they're selling you the same lie that caused the wound in the first place. You can't heal by pretending harder. Nihilism won't save you either. The people who say nothing matters, so who cares, they've mistaken numbness for wisdom. Despair isn't liberation. It's just another cage. In spiritual, bypassing the idea that you can transcend the ego and float above the crisis, that's just dissociation with better marketing. The crisis doesn't end because you find a better belief. It ends when you stop needing the belief. Jean-Paul Sartre said, "Existence precedes essence." You are not born with a purpose handed down from the cosmos. You are born, and then you create meaning. You decide what matters. The universe doesn't care, so you have to. Albert Camus wrote about the absurd hero, the person who lives fully, passionately, defiantly, knowing there is no cosmic script. Sisyphus pushing the boulder up the hill forever and choosing to find joy in the act itself. Not because it leads somewhere, but because it's his. Viktor Frankl survived Auschwitz and wrote that meaning is not found, it's made. Even in the most horrific circumstances, humans can choose how to respond. The freedom to create meaning is the one thing no one can take from you. Perhaps the point was never to be special. Perhaps the point was to live as if you aren't because it's true, but because it's the only way to be fully alive. And maybe there's a strange relief in this, the relief of anonymity. The liberation in accepting that you are one of billions, that no one is watching, that you're free to fail without cosmic consequences. Without the burden of destiny, you are free to simply be. The pressure to be remarkable is a cage. Ordinariness can be an open door. What if you were never supposed to be the main character? What if you were supposed to be the one finally free of the script? Tonight, 8 billion people will fall asleep. Almost all of them will be forgotten by history. Their names will vanish. Their stories will dissolve. And yet, right now, each of them is living a life that feels like the only life in the universe. The crisis is not that you're not special. The crisis is that you still need to be. So here's the question I'll leave you with. Not an answer. A question you'll carry with you. What would you do? Who would you become if you truly accepted that you are no one? And what if that was the most liberating thought you ever had?